Mule deer was my favorite animal from as young as I could remember. My dad, he never even bought an elk tag that I remember. He was a mule deer guy, so I spent all my life just growing up wanting to chase them anywhere and everywhere that I possibly could. And being in the 90s, you think mule deer, you think Mike Eastman. So I watched every video, read his books, and that's what I wanted to do. I want to hunt high country mule deer as often and as many places as I can. So we had the privilege of meeting Mike Eastman back last winter. Me, Levi, and Rustin were able to sit down with him and pick his brain about things and hunting high country in Wyoming, which he has more experience than anyone probably. He mentioned taking the weight off of your knees because they're gonna wear down no matter what. But the sooner you get it off of your back and the weight onto an animal's back, whatever the animal be, he suggested really any animal you can get to carry it. And he talked about llamas, horses. We brought up goats, and that's where we settled. So this is a Wyoming high country hunt in an area that we've hunted previously, years ago, but this is the first time we've taken goats into there. We're new to the goat hunting style really, and this is a perfect place for us to kind of earn our keep at it.
All the elk?
Yeah. Well, I heard a bugle.
I heard about 4 or 5.
Getting ready to head out for opening morning.
Let's do it.
Go find the buck from last night. Put the hammer down.
How's the coffee?
The coffee's great.
How's your morning?
It's not frosted flakes. The morning's good. Finally warmed up. It's nice. Lots of bugs running around.
What? Spark arrestor? Maybe I opted against it. Don't we have one? Yeah, it seems bad right So once that buck moved around and bedded down, the three of us continued glassing, and I can't remember who said it first, but there was a buck on the skyline, I would say close to a mile, 3/4 of a mile anyways, and he come right over the top. I was able to get the spotting scope set up, only fast enough to see him coming across the hill, and notice he had his G4s come out farther than his main beams. And that's what the buck was like that we saw scouting. So I immediately knew it was the buck that we had seen 10 days before that we were hoping we could get on that morning. And we watched him disappear into this avalanche chute where there's a strip of pines that wasn't more than probably 30 feet wide. And he'd never come out the other end or the end he came in. So we knew he was still in there. So we spent the next 10 hours. We worked our way in close where we thought he would be, and the wait began. We sat there for all day long. And we were all questioning, like, maybe he's not in there anymore because there's 45 minutes of light left and no movement at all. So the grind of the day was on us, and then just out of nowhere, Levi's like, there he is, I see a buck, he's right on the edge of the pines. He was pretty hard to see, especially to get the camera on. And all you could see was his neck and his face coming at you, and you know it was him. And he was right in the same spot we assumed he would be. For him to lay there, you would think he got up sometime during the day with three of us glassing that one spot. A lot of people would assume you would see the deer at some point, but that's all we saw of him. So it was a panic rush thinking there's a little area he may step to the right and give me a shot. So immediately set up the gun. I get on him, I feel good and steady. He's at about 350 yards. And we just start waiting. Like, your heart's pounding, you're shaking, but he's doing nothing but staring directly at you. And all I could see, if I was even gonna attempt a shot, was a small piece of his neck. And I just figured he would have to show me something else. But nope, by the time he had enough of us, he turned straight away and walked straight into the pines from where he came. We immediately got all of our stuff thinking he was headed to the other side of the chute and ran up and around this hill just in time to see him come out of the pines and go over the skyline towards who knows. So after that long day, long wait, and the disappointment at the end, I mean, I honestly felt kind of, I wouldn't say depressed, but it was upsetting. Thought about the buck I had passed up the first morning, and I just thought I was insane because the amount of people we saw opening day going by us on every ridge around us, I kind of beat myself up thinking, I can't believe I passed up a good 160 class deer with them kind of forks. Because on a normal general season hunt, I would, without any second thought, have done it. So I spent the night just laying there thinking, like, what do I do in the morning? Because we had seen that buck that got away, the one the night before opener. I was still holding out thinking he's got to be there somewhere. But we did hear a few shots opening day around us, and you never know what those shots were at. The next morning, we went back to the other side of the basin where I passed the one up and where that other buck was we sat on all day, because I thought there's a chance maybe either of those bucks could be in there versus going the other way. I'm hunting one particular deer. Either way, it turned out to be a good decision. We got there well before light, got set up, comfortable, and as it started to get light, immediately before you could even identify anything, you could see a few deer up on the hillside. So then you're just anxiously waiting for it to get light enough to see what kind of antlers they have. And when it did get light enough, that buck from the morning before was there. And it was 350 yards, and this was the time to do it.
Just squeeze the trigger. Dumped him. Okay, let's get our stuff ready and let's go check him out. Guys, we got one. Levi. Big old backs.
Is this the buck from over on the other side?
I don't think so.
Dude, that is a cool buck.
It was almost 350 on the dot. It was like 349 when I ranged him.
But it's
He was all the way up there.
yeah, your first one, he just dropped. And I saw the dirt come up high behind him, but he fell. I thought maybe it was just the bolt coming out the other side. And then when he had his head up and you shot him again, he just tumbled. This buck, he had have been right there all day yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll bet you he just didn't get up. And if he did, he was on the backside of the pines where this guy couldn't see.
And he went right around the hill.
Yeah. bigger than that.
Should we Bundy this thing?
Yep, we're gonna have to. Hey Lee, what do you think?
I think it's going pretty good. Huckleberry there, he's got a bunch of meat on him. We're carrying the cape, the head, and some other meat, and then the rest of the goats got the rest of camp. Pretty light pack out, so and they're doing good. Getting a bite to eat, we're getting a drink, and then we'll continue. Probably hour, probably about 3 o'clock by the time we get to the truck. So right on schedule to get home late night.